بأسمائهم فلما أنبأهم بأسمائهم قال ألم أقل لكم إني أعلم غيب السماوات والأرض وأعلم ما تبدون وما كنتم تكتمون صدق الله العظيم Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Moving on to the next agenda, opening remarks which will be delivered by Director of Universitas Nahdlatul Ulama Surabaya, Professor Dr. Insinyur Ahmad Jazidi, Master of Engineering. Excuse me, sir. I apologize for reminding you at the beginning that you only have 5 minutes. Time is yours.
Thank you. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Alhamdulillah. Wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. Sayyidina Muhammadin ibn Abdillah. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. Amma ba'd. Distinguished speakers, Dr. Azmin Azriz Aziz, yang saya hormati teman-teman di Fakultas Ekonomi Bisnis dan Teknologi Digital Universitas Nahdlatul Ulama Surabaya, para participants webinar yang saya hormati. First of all, I would like to thanks to the Dean of the Faculty of Economics and Digital Technology of UNUSA and his staff that conduct this international webinar on strategies for business survival in times of recessions and market disruptions. My thanks, of course, and my appreciations also goes to the speakers of these occasions, Dr. Azmin Azriza Aziz from University Malaya. Ladies and gentlemen, I am not a businessman by training. However, I am of the view that there are global uncertainties and complexity in world economy due to many factors. Among others are the ongoing war in Ukraine and Russia, bloody genocide in Palestine, complicated conflicts in Syria, the emerging of global South countries and BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, maybe in the near future, including also Indonesia. The intention to reduce the usage of US dollar in world trade transactions, the rapid development of information technology like artificial intelligence, etc., etc. Those are variables that must be taken into considerations by business players worldwide, as they are creating market disruption and cause economic recessions. We have to note that the economy as unpredictable and businesses need to be ready for anything. Recessions can have a devastating impact in businesses, especially if they do not have plan to cope with them. Ladies and gentlemen, for those that are not ready facing such disruption, big business players are vulnerable to the effect of an economic downturn and need to take proactive steps to prepare for it. We in Indonesia are witnessing many business entities went bankrupt and close their business activities as they are not anticipating the emergence of digital technologies, online marketing strategy, etc. Ladies and gentlemen, to face these obstacles, I am of the view that business players should evaluate their budget plan as to make sure you are on the right track to do well. It is good to have goals for now and for the future. Cut and reduce unnecessary expenses. Business players should check their cash flow intensively and act in prudence way. A steady cash flow means your business can handle regular expenses, pay employees, and invest in future growth opportunities. It is also important to note that during economic challenges, it is important to review your marketing strategy. While some businesses might cut their marketing budget, it is vital to keep promoting your brand. This keeps customers interested and keeps competitors on their toes. Adjust your marketing plan, focus on what you do the best. Use cost-effective ways to reach customers and choose the right platform to advertise. Ladies and gentlemen, of course, I do not want to give you more detailed analysis on this topic, since the speakers would provide you more in-depth analysis and professional expertise in this regard. That's all. Thank you. Wallahul muwafiq ila aqwamit thariq. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Pak Rektor.
Thank you very much, Prof. Jazidi, for the inspiring speech. The next agenda is praying, which will be led by Imam, an undergraduate student of Management Department. Time is yours.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hamdan yufin ma'luma kama zidahu ya rabbana lakal hamdu wa'adimi sultani. Allahumma salli wa sallim ala sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. Allahumma fir lana dhunubana wa li walidina wa shayna wa li jami'ina wal muslimat wal mu'minina wal mu'minat al-ahya'i minhum. Allahumma inna nas'aluka salamata fid din wa dunya wal akhirah wa ziyadatan fir rizqi wa taubatan qabla al-maut wa rahmatan indal maut wa maghfiratan ba'dal maut wa najatan wa rahmatika ya arhamar rahimin.
Amin.
Rabbana hab lana min azwajina wa qurrata a'yunin lil muttaqina imama. Rabbana la tu'akhidhna in nasina aw akhtana rabbana wa la tahmil alaina isran kama hamaltahu 'ala alladhina min qablina. ربنا ولا تحملنا ما لا طاقة لنا به واعف عنا واغفر لنا وارحمنا وانصرنا على القوم الكافرين اللهم ظلمنا أنفسنا وإن لم تغفر لنا وترحمنا لنكونن من الخاسرين وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم
آمين
ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار
آمين
إلى الله على الأمل ألم بزوان الإيمان ومن فتنة الشيطان يقدم الإنسان كما عليه dan
آمين
ihsanu kal qadimi hananu ya mana ya rahim ya rahman ya ghafur ya ghafar infir lana warhamna wa anta khairur rahimin wa sallallahu ala sayyidina
آمين
wa ala alihi wasallam subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun wa salamun alal mursalin walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin
آمين
ada qalbi Fatihah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله
Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Amin, amin, ya Rabbal Alamin.
آمين
Before we move to the main agenda, we will do some documentation. Please, all the participants, turn on the camera.
Okay.
I'm going to count 1, 2, 3.
Kok
Start
saya
from the
nggak
first
melihat
slide.
gambarnya Pak Dekan ini?
1, 2, 3. Next slide.
Ada kok bro, hadir kok.
Alhamdulillah.
1, 2, 3. Next slide.
Karena slide-nya banyak jadi
1,
bro.
2,
Saya mungkin di
3.
bagian belakang bro.
Okay, thank you very much.
Sukses, sukses.
Terima kasih. Dr. Azmin, Assalamualaikum, how are you?
But before we jump into the main agenda, we will listen to a brief welcome that will be delivered by the Head of Management Department, Mr. Rian Sisiawan Putra, SAMSM. Time is yours.
Oke. Dr. Asmin, how are you?
Good, Alhamdulillah.
Hai Dr. Azmin.
Hi.
Nice
We
to
with
see you.
our rector, our dean, and I hope this has become a beginner, and we will operation University Malaya and Universitas Nahdlatul Ulama Surabaya, and many collaboration to us. I say today, and we can start the international. Kemudian apa Pak Ubed bisa diceritakan.
Thank you, Mr. Rian Sisiawan Putra, for the spirit welcome. The next agenda is a brief welcome that will be delivered by the Dean of Faculty Economic Business and Digital Technology, Dr. Ubaidillah Zuhdi. Time is yours.
Ya, ya sebenarnya bisa langsung aja sih ke acara inti ya. Tapi baiklah. Oke, terima kasih. Ya, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Waalaikumsalam.
Thank you for the opportunity. Yeah, thank you very much for the Rector for coming and giving the opening speech, and thank you so much for the Bapak Ibu Wakil Rektor for attending this event, and thank you so much for Dr. Azmin. Yeah, we can see again, but unfortunately in this time by virtual. Hopefully you can come to Unusa directly Dr. Azmin in the next near future.
Insyaallah.
In
Ya,
Inshallah.
insyaallah.
In next year maybe inshallah. Yeah.
Amin, amin.
Okay, thank you so much. And terima kasih juga kepada Bapak Ibu panitia, khususnya dari manajemen Pak Rian dan kemudian Pak Denis, Bapak Ibu yang lain. Saya tadi lihat ada Pak Yusak juga, matur nuwun sangat. Dan juga saya mengucapkan selamat kepada panitia yang sudah sukses dalam menjalankan agenda ini ya. Mohon ini dijadikan kegiatan rutin tahunan dan jangan berhenti sampai di sini gitu ya. Terima kasih juga dengan Bapak Ibu dari UNUSA, Pak Derajat dan Bapak Ibu yang lainnya. Oke, demikian dari saya. Wallahul muwaffiq ila aqwamit thoriq. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Thank you, Dr. Ubaidillah Zuhdi, for the spirit welcome. Let us now proceed to the main agenda, a presentation of material with the theme of strategies for business survival in time of recession and market disruption, which be delivered by Dr. Asmin Asliza Aziz and moderated by Mrs. Firly Irhamni, SIPMM. Let me read Mrs. Firly short CV first. Mrs. Firly Irhamni is one of professional lecturer in Management Department of Universitas Nahdlatul Ulama Surabaya. She pursued her education at Bachelor of International Relations and Master of Management at Erlangga University. She has a personal experience as a HR generalist at Philip Morris International and also marketing supervisor at HM Sampurna. She has research interest in sustainable finance, market volatility dynamics, and ESG investing. And last, she is a professional trainer at employee motivation, conflict management, and communication skills. So, Mrs. Firly Irhani, time is yours.
Thank you, presenter, for introducing me. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First, let me greet our rector, Professor Ahmad Yazidi, and the vice rectors, Professor Kacuk Marijan, then Mr. Muhammad Fatih, PhD, and then Dr. Umi Hani, MKes. Please welcome in our webinar session. Also, all of the directors in UNUSA, all of our deans in all of faculties, also heads of study programs at our university, also our esteemed participants. Please welcome everyone to our webinar on strategies for business survival during recession and market disruptions. We'll begin our first session by understanding the landscape of recession and market disruption. Now, joining with us, Dr. Asmin Asliza Aziz, a renowned expert in the field. She's an expert in optimization, Internet of Things, and supply chain management. Also, over a decade of experience in teaching undergraduate, postgraduate students, supervising several research projects, and a recognition from Malaysia Technology Expo in 2021. That she will provide us with valuable insights into the recession, market disruption, business challenges, and survival strategies. First, let me inform how the presentation will be going on. First, Dr. Asmin will present the material. After that, there will be question and answer session and followed by conclusion. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Asmin Asliza Aziz from University Malaya. Time is yours, Dr. Asmin.
Okay, thank you very much, Madam Firly. So good morning, everyone. Assalamualaikum. It's such an honor to be here with all of you today. Okay, terima kasih banyak for inviting me. First, let me introduce myself again. Okay, my name is Asmin Aziza Aziz, and I'm a senior lecturer at the Faculty of Business and Economics, University Malaya. Okay. So the title of my talk here is From Surviving to Thriving, Practical Strategies for Businesses in Uncertain Times. Okay, so basically today we'll be discussing something crucial for every business owner, leader, and also student. How to survive and even thrive in times of economic challenges and also market disruptions. Okay, so if I speak a bit fast or you're not clear, just let me know, yeah? Okay, I'm also afraid because of the internet connection over here because it's quite far, right? Okay, so okay, let me go to the next one. Okay, so basically in this presentation, I will walk you through these four main topics here. The first one is to understand recession and market disruption. Okay, so you have to know the difference between these two, recession and also market disruption. Secondly, the key challenges businesses face. So what are the problems faced by businesses? Third, the overview of the survival and growth strategies. So we go through by one. Okay, I will present six strategies.
Visible now.
Also, sorry. And also the last one is I will share with you briefly three case studies, real world case studies. Okay, now let's get started. So do you know what's the difference between recession and also market disruption? Maybe you can raise hand. Is it possible to raise hand here? Do you know the difference between these two? Sure, whether I can see that here or not. Okay.
Ayo yang mau tanya.
So I can't really see the raising hand here. Okay, but it's okay. So basically, recession is decline in economic activity for 2 consecutive quarters. Okay, and the symptoms is reduced demand, higher employment, tighter credit. Okay, let me explain again this one. So recession happens when the economy slow down, right? When people spend less money, the company also earn less, and also normally the jobs also hard to find. Okay. For example, in Indonesia or even in Malaysia, you might remember how actually COVID affected us, right? In tourism, especially in restaurants, even big companies also struggle during that time. Okay, so that is recession. And then we have market disruption. Okay, that is rapid changes in market conditions due to technology, regulations, or geopolitical events. Okay, so this market disruption can happen actually anytime. Okay, for example, when I think Gojek and also Grab entered the market, then they actually disrupt the traditional object drivers and also taxi. Right, so that happened. Okay, because suddenly we have this new Grab or Gojek, then the traditional one, the original one, disrupted. Okay, so people move to the new one. Okay, so these two are basically different, but the impact is similar. Okay, so you have to understand that the difference between these two first, and of course there is a way how to handle this. Okay, so before we go to the strategies, let's look at what are the challenges that businesses face. Okay, so I identify 5 main challenges here. The first one is declining consumer spending. Okay, so this means that people spend less money. Okay, so during tough times, during critical times, normally we will prioritize essentials, right? What is more important? Okay, so for example, if you have choice between buying luxury coffee, expensive coffee, or the cheaper one, of course, we go to the cheaper one during the critical times. Okay, so we prefer local warung, for example, instead of going to the Starbucks. Okay, second one is supply chain disruptions. So these supply chain issues happen mainly because when the supply couldn't meet the demand. Okay, again during COVID, we know that everyone need to wear masks and also use sanitizers. But at that time, it's so hard to find masks and sanitizers. Like I myself, I went to many shops. It's so hard to get masks, all finished. Um, Even if the shop sell masks or sanitizers, the price is very high. It's very expensive compared to now, right? So that is the supply chain issues. Okay, the demand is very high during that critical times, but the supply is low. Okay, that is another challenges. The third one, liquidity and cash flow constraints. So this one, basically because a company doesn't have cash reserve. Okay, they don't have money. So many businesses close not because they are bad business, but because they are actually run out of cash. Okay, so for example, if you just imagine if a restaurant they don't have cash, then how do they buy the fresh ingredients? Okay, like onions and all that. Okay, so how they can stay open? Fourth is increased competition and price pressures. So this is again relate to the previous like supply chain just now. Okay, because of the issues between supply and demand, of course the price will be high, and then the companies also compete with each other to survive. Okay, and also the last one is uncertainty in forecasting, also relate to the all the previous challenges. Yes, because you cannot forecast what will happen. So your you may have higher demand but less supply, okay, because of the forecasting issue there. Okay, so these are the challenges, and they are, of course, they are tough, but there are always ways to overcome them. So let's look at the strategies now. I outlined 6 strategies here. Okay, so I'll go through first the each of this. So the first one is to strengthen financial foundations. Okay, second one is to adapt operations for agility. Third, to diversify revenue streams. Fourth, to invest in digital transformation, which I like most. Fifth is focus on the customer retention, and last one is to build resilience through collaboration. So these strategies have been proven successful, okay, by businesses. Okay, so then we go through one by one, and I give you also examples for each of these. The first one, then financial foundations. Okay, so of course, business have to secure their finances. Can you hear me? Can you still hear me?
I can
Okay.
transmit.
All right. I think because some problem is now pop up on my screen. Okay, thank you. So, all right. So I think we are still in the previous slide. Strategy 1. Okay. So thank you. So so the first one, reduce non-essential expenses. So again, as I mentioned earlier, you have to cut costs. Okay, you have to know where to cut costs. Just like in 2008, the global financial crisis. Okay, Starbucks actually they closed even I think now due to the boycott. Right. So Starbucks closed many of their stores. Okay. Because they are unprofitable. Okay, so similarly for Indonesian also, I believe many Indonesian businesses reduce office space, and also some they change to uh, remote work to cut expenses, okay, the utilities and so on. Okay, but you have to be careful also what to cut, because for example, if you have the uh, coffee shop. Okay, and people come to your coffee shop because of the Wi-Fi, for example. Okay, the main reason, the youngsters like to uh, spend their time because they can get the Wi-Fi. But then if you cut costs by cutting the Wi-Fi, then people won't come anymore. Okay, because that's the one of the main reason why they come. So you have to be careful, and you should know what can be cut. Okay. Second one is to build cash reserve. Okay, again, because like I mentioned earlier, this is one of the main challenges. So having cash is very important. Okay, it's like they said that having cash is like a sambal in the fridge. Okay, it's better to have it, although you don't need it. Okay, then you need it, but it's not there. Okay, so cash is very important. Okay, especially during the critical times. So big companies, for example, like Apple, they actually save money. Okay, but for small companies also that should be possible. Just that maybe you can't really save a lot. Maybe you can save a bit every month. Okay, the third one is to renegotiate supplier contracts and debt terms. Okay, so this one also important during critical times. You have maybe what you can do is to renegotiate again with your supplier and also your creditors. Okay, what can be adjusted due to this recession or disruption times. And the last one is to focus on the high margin products. Okay, this one also, for example, if you open a restaurant, then you cannot you cannot offer all the menus. Okay, maybe you can focus on the menu that give you high profit, because some of the menu are hard to do. It costs you more, it takes more time. So try to find a menu that give you less time to do to prepare, and then in terms of resources also use less resources but still give you extra profit. Okay, so maybe you should look into that. Okay, so next slide. The next strategy is to adapt operations for agility. Okay, so we know that agility is the survival. Okay, not sure what you call agility in Indonesia. We call it ketangkasan. I think maybe what is agility in Indonesia?
Yes, ketangkasan, Doctor.
Ketangkasan, yeah. Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
so it's the same, yeah. So ketangkasan, okay. So how can we adapt operations for agility? So first, maybe we can implement lean practices. Okay, this is famous in Japan. Okay, lean practice is very common in Japan. So for your example, Toyota, they actually apply lean manufacturing system. Okay, basically, by using lean, you can remove waste and also inefficiencies. Okay, so even a small business also can apply this idea. For example, warung, they can just prepare food based on the demand. Okay, instead of making the food in advance. Okay, because if you do food in advance, then you don't know the demand. Maybe people come less on that day. Then at the end of the day, you have to throw away everything. Okay, but if you do it based on demand, then you can reduce the waste and inefficiencies. Second one is to streamline supply chains. Okay, so this relate back to the one of the challenges just now on supply chain issues. Okay, so what you can do is probably to diversify your suppliers. So instead of focusing on one supplier, you should have a few supplier. Okay, so for example, during maybe during festive like Raya, Hari Raya, we normally have this Kueh Raya, right? And on the biscuits and so on. So at that time, the demand, the supply of flour, all the ingredients may be limited. Okay, so if you just focus or if you just have one supplier, then if anything happen like shortage of flour, then you have trouble. So it's better to have several suppliers. So if you have problem with one, then you have other options. That is to empower decision making. This is also very important, regardless whether you have a big or small company. Okay, for a big company like Unilever, they actually they empower their local teams to set what's the best for the company. Okay, so the same like McDonald. You see, I'm sure in Indonesia also the same. In Malaysia, in McDonald's, we have nasi lemak. Okay, so they try to localize, the menu. So that decision can be made by the local team. Okay, although it's a global company. The third one is to empower decision. The fourth one is to use data for scenario planning. This relate to the forecasting issue just now. So if you have your data, okay, your record, especially for SME, normally we have record, right? So if you have record, it's best to do some simulations on the data, so that you can forecast the demand and supply and what can be done. Okay, if you have this scenario, this happen, then you have the solution for that. If problem B happen, then you have also a set of solutions. So you are prepared for that. Okay. The third strategy is to diversify revenue streams. Okay, so for this one, first, how can you diversify revenue? You can try to explore new markets or customer segments. Okay, so instead of focusing on one market. So for example, in 1997, Asian financial crisis, Samsung they try to explore market in the Europe and also in US. Okay, and the same actually in Indonesia you have Tokopedia, right? If I'm not mistaken, You have Tokopedia, they launch partnership with the small stores. Okay, so they create new revenue streams. Other example, like some of our Asian products, hardly available in the European market, but some of them, the Europeans also need that, or the Americans. So by exploring new market, promote your products over there, then you can actually survive. So don't just focus on your own region or your own country. Okay, next, to offer complementary products or services. Sorry, still on the previous slide. Okay, so offer complementary product or services. This one I'm sure many of us like as a customer. We often like to give to receive gift, right? So this can be done also by restaurants, for example, during the pandemic. So restaurants, they can also provide some maybe complementary products or services. Okay. For example, like DIY kits, you can just attach together. Or sometimes maybe not the product, but just a simple, when you buy something, just give a simple, for example, card or note that says thank you. That actually, make the customer happy, and also can, encourage them to buy more from your shop, or even they can also promote to their friends. So that is one way to actually survive. The third one is adopt subscription model. Do you have any idea which company actually, what business actually that did this during COVID last time, during the lockdown, and they actually make money from this subscription model here? Anyone have any idea? Maybe you can put in the chat box for this, the third strategy, adopt subscription model just now. Maybe you can speak. Does anyone have idea?
Ayo, yang mau menjawab silakan. Nggak ada. Bu moderator mungkin, Bu Firly.
Well, first, actually, we can adopt like the basic for the IT application by entering in marketplace. That's mostly how this micro business conduct in Indonesia. They actively engage in marketplace, but however, sometimes the players, it's like too many, and then the competition, it's too fierce, and some of the micro business collapse. So seems like they need to like rethinking how their model business, and maybe Dr. Asmin, you can suggest like kind of how to survive in this like fierce marketplace, as we know, like maybe Shopee in Malaysia also works there, and here we have like various of marketplaces. It's not just Shopee, but also like a TikTok and Tokopedia, sort of like that, Dr. Asmin.
Yeah. Okay, so thank you, Madam Philly. Okay, that's correct. So I will also address some of this. So still on the previous slide, strategy 3 just now. So, this subscription model, actually, if during the pandemic last time, one of the company that really made most is Netflix, because most of us are staying home, right? So we have no entertainment. So that is one of the entertainment that people, they start watching Netflix. So they really make money during that time, so they take that advantage. People staying home, doing nothing, so boring. So they subscribe to Netflix, and they can watch movies and whatever. Okay. Next one is this: invest in digital transformation. Okay, so we know nowadays that digital tools are very important, right? We have, like you mentioned earlier, we have TikTok, we have Lazada, we have Shopee, Tokopedia, so many. Okay, so you have to invest in this. So it's not just that when we talk about digital, so it can be Instagram, Facebook, all the social media. So you can utilize this, make use of this, all these platforms. First, for example, by automating repetitive processes. Okay, so you can use automation, like companies like Grab, for example, or Gojek. They automated their processes, their delivery processes. Okay, so that makes the process more efficient. Second one, to leverage e-commerce and also digital sales channels. So this one, like I mentioned earlier, you can promote your product through e-commerce. So you don't really have to use the expensive one, the paid one. There are many free version or the cheaper version. Okay, so for example, you can just use Instagram. So just upload, if you open the warung, you can just upload a photo of nasi goreng on Instagram. Okay, and you promote through that platform. Use AI analytics for decision making. Okay, this one, I would say most of the SME or big companies use this method because, of course, you need to invest a bit for the AI and analytics. For example, companies like, travel companies like Traveloka, they use data to offer personalized travel deals to the customer. I'm sure you have experienced this also when you search for maybe flight ticket to any country, and then after that you keep seeing those advertisement. When you open your Google or whatever, you can see that advertisement. Okay, book flight now, something like that. Okay, because they use AI, they use machine learning to actually detect all these our activities and then offer personalized product to us or services to us. And strengthen cybersecurity. Okay, this is also one of the very important strategy. Okay, that the company should be invested in, especially during the pandemic last time. I'm sure most of have meetings through online platform like Google Meet, Zoom, Teams, right? So due to this high demand, so of course, these companies, they should also invest in they should invest to strengthen the cybersecurity to make sure the data is encrypted and so on. Okay. All right, next one. Next strategy is to focus on the customer retention. Okay, so it's always best or easier to keep your customers than to acquire a new, the new customers. So how can we do this? So first, for example, by enhancing your customer experience. How do we enhance the customer experience? Okay, like I mentioned earlier, you can offer complimentary service or product, gifts, small gifts, simple, or maybe thank you card. Okay, so that is how you can enhance the customer experience. Just remember, people like free gift. Okay, even it's small, just a pen. So people just like even as swims the small thank you note, still that makes the customer happy. So you have to enhance customer experience. Or maybe for the restaurant, you can offer the free delivery. Okay, or maybe easier payment option. Okay, so you give several payment option to the customers. Secondly is to offer flexible, okay, so this is what I mentioned earlier, offer flexible payment options. Okay, not just through credit card, you can use debit card, FBS, Touch and Go, and so on. Personalized marketing effort. Okay, that is more personalized to the customers. Like I mentioned about the travel agent, Traveloka just now, and build trust and transparency. Okay, so this is important. You have to build trust and transparency. Okay, so other than that, you can also offer loyalty programs. For example, like loyalty cards. When they buy something, they get points and discount. Okay, and they can accumulate the points so that they can get some free gift later. Okay, next strategy is to build resilience through collaboration. So this is the sixth strategy. Okay, so first is to partner with other businesses. Okay, although going alone is fine, but sometimes during tough times, it's best to work together. Okay, with other companies or with other people. Okay, so for example, like restaurants or McDonald's or warungs, they work together with the delivery provider. Okay, like Grab and so on. Okay, so that's how you work together. So you provide food, they provide the delivery to the customer. So work together. Okay, so because some of the maybe some people will think that okay, if you work together, then your idea might be other people might get your idea, your secret, so you don't want to share that. Okay, but you should think of it's a win-win situation actually. Okay, by working together, it does not mean that you give away your secret to your competitors or to your, to other business. Okay, but it's actually a win-win situation. How you can, okay, you focus on your own strength, what can you provide, and the other business, what can you provide, so work together. Okay, and like for example, again, you can work together with the influencers. Okay, so they can help to promote your product. Share resources to cut costs. Okay, this is also important. So for example, during Ramadan, okay, so most of us, most of the people, maybe they sell something for the during the Ramadan. So what they can do is actually, work together, collaborate with all the sellers, and then they can actually what you call that? Rent a place for the Ramadan bazaar. Okay, so you can do that together. If you just open alone, maybe not many people come, but if you do it together, then you can actually attract more crowd. Okay, and the third one is to join industry network for support. Okay, so similar to the partnership just now, and engage with the policy makers. Okay, so what can be done? So you need to think and to discuss with the policy makers as well. Okay, next slide. Okay, so those are the 6 strategies that again I mentioned earlier have been proven actually successful. Here I just provide 3 case study. There are actually a lot, okay, but here I just provide 3. The first one from the big company Apple in 2008 during the crisis. What they did is actually they leverage innovation by launching new products. Procter and Gamble, I'm sure you have heard this before. They have so many products, so they can focus on core brands. Actually, during crisis, they focus on the core brands. And so although these 2 are big companies, still like small businesses, if you just start your new business, you still can, come up with, strategies to survive. So for example, pivoted to e-commerce. Okay, that is the easiest way actually to start. Okay, just make use of the e-commerce social media. Okay, I'm sure most of you are young, so you have all this social media, Insta, TikTok, and so on. So make use of that to promote your business. Okay, next, I think that's the end of my presentation. I'm not sure it's too fast or too slow. So that's the end. So again, what you have to think that you have to be prepared. Okay, business have to be prepared to adapt and also to innovate. Okay, the most important is to be creative, innovative, to emerge stronger. Okay, and when these tough time, critical times happen, don't think this as a you know as a problem, issue, okay, or barriers for you to move forward. So take this as an opportunity to move stronger. Yes, so just remember that setiap krisis adalah peluang. Okay, so every crisis is an opportunity for you actually, but you just have to know what's your main problem for your issue and how can you address that problem. Okay, so that's actually all from me. Thank you for your time. Terima kasih. So if you have any question, you can
Thank you,
ask.
Madam Azmit, for your insightful presentation. Now let's open for the floor. Any questions from audience? Can be silahkan apabila ada partisipan yang ingin bertanya, silakan raise hand. Oke, masuk silakan. Atas nama John, bisa diperkenalkan nama dan dari mana asalnya?
Saya Kak.
Ya, silakan.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Perkenalkan nama saya Muhammad Sitauni Putra dari BJSD. Kenapa dampaknya ChatGPT? Kenapa dampaknya ChatGPT? Terima kasih.
Apa dampaknya ya?
Ya.
Okay. Can I collect first some questions, Dr. Azmin? Like,
Yes,
for
sure.
instance, like 3
Yeah.
questions first, and then you can answer it one by one. Okay, next. Fariza?
Saya ingin
Seems like Fariza,
start.
silakan.
Okay.
Fariza, time is yours.
Okay. Thank you, Mrs. Firly. Dr. Asmin, I'm so glad to see you because I also the alumni of University Malaya.
Oh,
I'm now
great.
in Universitas Airlangga. So what I want to ask is that actually I want to have a lot of to ask to you, but let's just make it squeeze it to one. You know, most of the major problems in companies is based on ethical. And when we talk about ethical, then we talk about morality. For example, like Boeing. Boeing is a big company, was in America. If you work in Boeing, it's like some kind of personal pride for you. But now we see that Boeing is they kind of drop in performance because they have a scandal, and their products, Boeing 737-800 ER, they just make something system that it's actually to compete with Airbus. So, but instead of making a new entirely product, they just modify something in their old product, and so it become a major disaster in the world. And so that's Boeing, and then we have Apple. Maybe Apple in Indonesia. I know that Apple launching iPhone 16, but because their commitment to the tax is not really good, and so we ban iPhone 16. And when they lost Indonesian market, I don't know, it will be must be a high impact for them. And so I think that to serve in this kind of fucha environment, volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and then it's like it's somehow connected heavily on morality. So what I want to ask is a company can do morally? Thank you. Okay, thank you.
Last question for the first session of Q&A. I got one bit similar question. It's about this ChatGPT utilization for this Z and Alpha generation. It's a bit similar with the first question, the impact of ChatGPT in business. And then there's like still a bit correlated question. What is the impact of ChatGPT for Alpha generation, probably for the Z generation as well, Madam Asmin? And those are the three questions. You may wish to answer which question.
Right, okay.
Halo,
Yes, sorry, I cannot hear you.
apakah suara saya sudah terdengar?
Oh, sorry, maaf untuk peserta atas nama Tridila. Kita ada 2 sesi ya untuk Q&A-nya. Ini yang untuk Q&A tahap pertama sudah kita tutup dulu ya. 3 pertanyaan. Setelah itu, setelah semua terjawab, baru sesi Q&A yang berikutnya. Mungkin Tridila bisa masuk lagi. Terima kasih.
Baik, Mbak. Terima kasih. Akan saya tunggu nanti.
Ya, Madam Asmin, you may answer those 3 questions first. Which one you would like to answer?
Okay, sorry. The first one just now is about
The ChatGPT.
The ChatGPT
impact.
Okay, so it's similar to the third one, is it?
So the first question, similar with the third question from the chat box, that's the impact of ChatGPT, but in generation Alpha or Z. And the first, actually, the impact of why there's a ChatGPT and the impact of ChatGPT. And the second question, it's about this case of business ethics in corporation, such as Boeing, also the Apple investment in Indonesia.
Okay, so thank you for the question. So the impact of ChatGPT to the alpha generation. Yeah, I know it happens everywhere, even in here in Malaysia, in UM, we have this issue. But okay, ChatGPT of course has its advantage and disadvantage, the benefits and also the issues. Okay, but you should know how to use it wisely, okay, efficiently. Um, so use that. How to say? Of course, they give impact to not just for the generation, the alpha generation, but to all of us. But the most important is uh, how do I say this? Let me think. Um, I'm not sure how to address this one. Um, you should know what how to use that ethically. Okay, so don't use ChatGPT to um, give you all the solutions directly, okay, because that actually won't work. Maybe it worked for the short time but not for the longer time. So what you should do is actually use that to generate to help you generate the ideas, and then to critically identify or analyze your options, okay, not just taking it as it is. Okay, for example, you cannot use ChatGPT, okay, uh give me solution, ideas, how to address this problem, but you should take that and then argue with that. So that's how actually we use ChatGPT efficiently. Okay, am I answering your question?
Let
It's
me
about the
translate your answer. Jadi begini, menurut Dr. Asmin bahwa ChatGPT itu tentunya membantu ya dalam mengetahui, memberikan solusi, tapi jangan membuat kita terperdaya bahwa semua solusi yang diberikan ChatGPT itu bisa applicable semuanya. Jadi jangan membuat kita malah bergantung untuk memberikan suatu ide atau solusi tertentu ya, karena kita juga harus menggunakan apa yang kita miliki sebenarnya, ya kan. Jadi dampaknya biar kita tidak ketergantungan ya, apalagi AI kan banyak sekali ya, bukan hanya ChatGPT juga, dan beberapa dampak buruk bagi generasi yang khususnya Z sama Alpha itu kan agak parah ya, jadi membuat sebagian dari mereka mungkin agak malas untuk memanfaatkan pemikirannya sendiri, kemampuannya sendiri. Nah, kalau misalnya terlalu bergantung bisa membuat mereka meragukan kemampuannya sendiri. Seperti itu. You can continue to answer the next question, Dr. Asmi.
Okay, for the next one, to be honest, yeah, I'm not so good at this area about the ethics, the morality of the boy in the company. How can they do this morally? So I don't know how do I address this?
Can I continue?
Yeah, sure.
Macam ni doktor. So bila dalam syarikat tu dia ada tekanan apa dia? Oh, kita kena selamatkan syarikat sebab ni apa future environment ni makin tak pastilah. So ada semacam dorongan, so kita nak buat keuntungan profit sebesar-besarnya sebab kita nak selamat, tapi in other hand sometimes keputusan macam itulah yang buat syarikat tu jatuh. So macam mana kita apa menghadapi tekanan uncertainty tadi, tapi kita tetap ada moral yang kita buat. So macam itulah. InsyaAllah begitu maksud saya.
So mungkin maybe the strategy is not the right one. Like I mentioned earlier, the first of all, you have to understand your challenges, right? What are the issues actually faced by the company? So then from there, you can work on the strategy. So maybe the strategy that, that the company do is actually still, still masih ada masalah, right? You mentioned. So it's not the right strategy, like Apple just now. So they have to think of other ways, or yeah, because of course when we did this, especially with the international businesses here, they need to think about the local, right? Because we are different. So it works in other countries, but it doesn't work in our country, for example. Okay, especially because they are global companies. So they need to think of the local, what actually the challenges faced by the local, what are the main issues faced by us, and then only you can strategize that accordingly.
Without confronting the
I
ethics, yeah.
understand. Sorry?
Without confronting the ethics, yeah.
Without?
Without confronting the ethics, we rely on strategy.
Yeah, should be, yeah.
Oke, oke lah. Saya nak bobot ni apa pasal dilematik itu. Dilematik itu macam mana? Tapi mungkin yang saya tangkap dari Dr. Azmin, still we have to rely on our strategy. Don't make strategy that unethic lah. Betul ke, Dokter?
Yes, that's very important. Ethics is very important, yeah. So make sure again, because when we touch about the culture, something that is more related to your customer.
Okay, so in other words, Dr. Azmin said that meskipun kita dalam uncertainty, etik tetap lebih tinggi daripada profit. Iya ke, Pak? Dokter?
Ethics is important. Okay, but some companies, they, of course, like you mentioned earlier, the issue is some companies, they don't care about ethics. But in order for you to survive, actually, for long term, yeah, ethics is very important. So it's not just your profit. It should be together. It should be both together. We can't really say that this is more than the other one. It should, go together.
Okay. I get it. Keyword dia ialah long term, lepas tu kena dua-duanya kena jalan.
Yes, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
terima
for
kasih.
short term, it's maybe okay, you don't care, right? But then if you want to survive for long term, then you have to think of those.
Okay. Thank you. Terima kasih. Okay, it's really helpful. Thank you.
Hopefully the answer suit you, Mr. Fariza. Now, I open for the next Q&A session. There's a question from participant Tridila Usma.
Baik, apakah suara saya sudah terdengar, Mbak?
Yes, you may ask your question now. Silakan.
Mungkin nanti untuk Mbak Firly bisa diterjemahkan ya, Mbak, untuk disampaikan pertanyaan kepada Mbak Asmin. Sebelumnya perkenalkan, nama saya Tridila Usma, asal saya dari Universitas Syakuala di Aceh. Di sini izinkan saya mau menanyakan ada beberapa pertanyaan yang saya coba ringkaskan untuk ditanyakan kepada Mbak Azmin. Yang pertama itu, apa saja aspek atau faktor baik dari internal maupun eksternal yang perlu sekali dikuatkan dalam berbisnis? Kemudian yang kedua, bagaimana cara efektif bagi kami sebagai generasi muda dapat menciptakan unique selling pada suatu brand produk kita sehingga lebih unggul di tengah persaingan ketat dan juga brand produk lain. Serta yang terakhir, yang ketiga, menurut Mbak Azmin, bagaimana cara memaksimalkan digital marketing yang efektif dan lebih produktif sehingga dapat meningkatkan peluang segmentasi pasar sesuai dengan yang telah kita harapkan. Sekian pertanyaan dari saya ucapkan terima kasih.
There are three questions from Tridila, Dr. Azmin. The first question is, what are the internal external factors that could affect the sustainability of the business? And the second question, what is the unique selling? How to develop or build the unique selling for brand survival, especially for the new player? And the last question is how to utilize this digital technology in doing the business, especially for this young generation, for Generation Z, how they operate their business.
Sorry, the first one is the internal success factor too?
Internal, external factors, yes.
Internal factors too?
internal and external factors that could affect the business.
Oh, okay. That will affect the business. Okay. So I think the external one, like I mentioned earlier about the supply and so on. So those are external actually, right? But for the internal is mostly from the inside the organization. For example, the team itself, the leadership. Okay, that is the, also one of the success factor, internal success factor. Okay, so of course, the leadership should be transparent, should be aligned to the long-term goals. Okay, during the crisis, for example, the leaders must know how to balance the survival, the immediate survival with the long-term strategies. Okay, so that one is in terms of the internal. So mostly in terms of the leadership itself, the organizational structure. Okay, ethics just now, just like you questioned about the ethics. So those are also internal. And then the agility, as I mentioned earlier, also the operational agility. Okay, how do you quickly adjust to the operations to meet those challenges? Okay, that is the from the internal. So you have to uh, discuss and then you have to work together, empower your team. Okay, so those are the internal factors. External when it involves the suppliers, the collaborators, networking. So those are the external factors that actually impact the what is it just now the business. Okay. Then the what else? Yeah, other than that, maybe if we look at the internal again, instead of just the organization, the leadership, you have also to think about your customers. Sorry, your sorry, customer is your external, your employees. Okay, the engagement, talent retention. Okay, so how do you keep your employees? So those are internal factors. Yeah. And then your second question is on the unique selling. Is it unique selling?
For brands, especially for the new players, like micro
Okay.
business.
Okay, so for the new players, new business, and especially for the young generation, what you can focus first, because again, due to the maybe in terms of the financial constraint when you first start your business. So what can you focus first is probably utilize the social media, the technology, digital. Okay, again, because that costs you less actually. Don't go for the expensive one that you have to pay, but you can start with the small one. Like I mentioned earlier, you can use Instagram, you can use Facebook, or you can use the TikTok. Okay, even you can try to promote through e-commerce platform like Shopee, Lazada, Tokopedia. So start small first. Okay, then only we can go to the, once you are more stable, then only you can go to the bigger, the one that maybe cost you a bit. So that relates also to your next question, that is to maximize the digital marketing, right? Is it? Is that the question? Maximize digital marketing.
Yeah, it's more like general marketing system, how to maximize it. So opportunity to get more customer or new market.
Okay. Okay. So again, that relates the second point is now using all the social medias, the all the platform, that relates to the how do you maximize your digital marketing. So you can actually use analytics. I mentioned about the AI just now, to actually analyze your customers, potential customers, okay, by providing the personalized service or products. So other than that, if you know how to use analytics, then you can actually study the pattern. You know what are the preference of the customers. Then from there, actually you can, either you can approach the right people. Okay, if you know that your product uh, is more preferable by the maybe female younger generation within certain age. So you focus on that customer instead of you go wide. So find your focus, your niche. area, your niche product, and so the right customer to approach to. Okay, make use of the digital platform and the analytics. Some of this, of course, to learn, it's good also if you can learn about analytics. Okay, some of course you can get from the classes, but there are also a lot actually on like YouTube for you to start learning how do you analyze the data, the customers' preference and so on. You can start with that. That's the cheapest way actually.
Thank you, Dr. Asmin, for your answers. Maybe I can still open one last question from the audience. Maybe any of you inquire something. One last question. Seems all of the questions are already answered, Dr. Asmin.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very insightful answer from you, and hopefully all of the answer can fulfill our audience inquiry about this how to survive during this recession, also in the disruption.
Thank you very much, Madam Fili, and the organizers.
This concludes our seminar on business survival during recession and market disruption, especially how to utilize the digital marketing, also digital tools. We hope that all of you have gained valuable insight and practical tools to navigate these challenging times. Thank you to our esteemed speaker, also the audience for your participation. We look forward to seeing you at our next event. Now, I return it to the presenters. Time is yours, presenters.
Thank you, Mrs. Firly, and thank you very much for Dr. Asmin Aziz for the insightful presentation. We truly appreciate the valuable knowledge shared, and we hope it will be beneficial for all of us. The next agenda is the distribution of certificate to the speaker. The certificate will be conveyed by the head of management department, Mr. Yan Sisyawan Putra, and the chief of the committee, Dwi Novitasari. Ms. Dwi Novitasari, please.
Thank you very much, Dr. Asmin.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Asmin Aziz, for the inspiring material for our student.
Thank you. I hope it's beneficial.
International webinar.
Thank you so much. So hopefully we can collaborate more after this. Ya, Pak Rian?
Yeah.
Hopefully we can collaborate more after this between
Okay.
UNUSA and
Until
UM.
we sign the MOA or MOU, right, Dr. Asmin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then maybe you can send
Hopefully,
your students. Yeah.
hopefully you can visit directly to UNUSA, Dr. Azmin. Inshallah.
Inshallah. It's in Surabaya, right?
Yeah, in Surabaya.
Yeah. I'm going to Indonesia next week, 24th, to Jakarta and Bandung.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. For
Next year
holiday.
maybe
Kenapa
at
tidak terus ke Surabaya
Dr.
saja,
Azmin?
Dr. Azmin? Langsung ke Surabaya.
Iya, kenapa tidak langsung ke Surabaya dari Bandung, Dr. Azmin?
Berapa jauh itu?
Berapa jauh
Surabaya
ya?
ke
Kalau
Bandung.
cukup jauh sih, ada sekitar 500 kilometer lebih. Iya.
Cuma 1 jam, cuma 1 jam.
1 jam. Iya, naik
1
pesawat.
jam naik pesawat.
Oke. Mungkin tahun hadapan ya, next year.
Tahun depan, ya,
Insyaallah.
tahun depan ya.
Ya.
Oke, thank you, Dr. Azmin.
Thank you very much. Okay, is that all?
Oke. Acaranya apa lagi? Bu Firly, sudah cukup?
Monggo MC bisa nutup ya.
Presenter,
Okay.
time is yours, presenters.
Mana? Bu
Halo,
siapa tadi? Mbak siapa tadi?
Mbak MC, monggo bisa di close acaranya.
Presenter.
Okay, thank you. Now let's have some fun by announcing the luckiest participant who get the door prize at this event.
Door prize.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we have some of the luckiest participants.
Hmm. Saya izin dulu ya.
Baik, Bro. Matur nuwun
Oke.
sangat.
Terima kasih.
Terima kasih banyak, Prof.
Terima kasih, Dr. Azmin. Bye-bye. See you next
Terima
time.
terima kasih Prof.
Terima kasih.
Let me read the luckiest participant. For the first is Muhammad Sutoni Putra, Fariza Rahman, Cynthia Putri Ardana, and Tri Dila Usma. Congratulations to the participant who got the door prize. For the names we have mentioned, please contact the committee to claim the door prize. Then it's continue with the documentation session. To all the participants, please turn on the camera. I'm going to count 1, 2, 3. Start from the first slide. 1, 2, 3. Next slide. 1, 2, 3. Next slide. 1, 2, 3. Next slide. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you everyone. Saya minta izin keluar dulu ya.
Okay,
Boleh
thank
kan?
you.
Okay, thank you very
Madam.
much. Ya, Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam
Warahmatullahi
warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much to the speaker and all participants.
We hope that today's event receive much blessing from God. See you when we see you. Bye-bye. For the participant, don't forget to fill in the attendance list, which is shared by chat Zoom.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sumilir angin wengi ngobati loroku, bebarengan sliramu ngiasi atiku, nyamanku mung kowe ora ono liyane. Sayangku aku tresno sliramu. bakal luntur saenteke umur kowe rasa sumelang sayang.
Rasa sayang
Ora bakal
genggaman tangan iki
percaya sliramu mung siji tumaku ora bakal bisa karo kowe selawase bakal bunga.
Matur nuwun kontan samayungi pas udane teko ora ono sing iso ganteni kowe sing tak tresno.
Rasa sayang iki ra bakal luntur saenteke umur kowe rasa sumelang sayang.
Tresno iki tulus kanggo sliramu takus kowe rasa kuatir aku ora bakal
Ora bakal lungani duh pepujane ning ati matur Gusti iso dadi siji.
nyuwun Gusti
bakal dadi siji. Sumilir angin wengi ngobati loroku bebarengan sliramu ngiasi atiku nyamanku mung kowe ora ono liyane sayangku aku tresno sliramu.
Duh sayang tresnoku iki ora bakal ilang janji setiaku ini aku isi kelingan koyo langit rembulan bakal tansah sesandingan tresnoku lan tresnomu bakal terus bersatu. Matur nuwun kontan samayungi pas udane teko ora ono sing iso ganteni kowe sing tak tresno.
saja